The Journey to Self-Realization. In the serene village of Tiruvannamalai, nestled in the heart of South India, stood the majestic Aranakula Hill. This ancient hill was revered as a beacon of spiritual energy, attracting seekers from far and wide. Among them was Ravi, a young man in search of answers to the profound question, "Who am I?" Ravi had grown up in a world filled with the noise of daily life, the expectations of society, and the complexities of human relationships. He often felt a deep sense of unease, a feeling that there was something more to life than what met the eye. This yearning led him to the teachings of the great sage Ramana Maharshi, whose ashram lay at the foothills of Aranakula. One evening, as the sun dipped behind the hill, casting a golden hue over the landscape, Ravi arrived at the ashram. The air was filled with the fragrance of jasmine and the sound of chanting, creating an atmosphere of tranquility. He was welcomed by the ashram's serene atmosphere, where seekers sat in silent meditation or engaged in discussions about the nature of the self. Ravi found a quiet spot under a banyan tree and began to reflect on the question that had brought him here. Who am I? As he closed his eyes, he saw images of his family, friends, and all the roles he played in life. He realized that he identified himself through these relationships and roles, but none of them truly answered the question. A wise old monk named Swami Krishnananda noticed Ravi's contemplative state and approached him. "What brings you here, my child?" he asked gently. Ravi opened his eyes and replied, "I seek to understand who I truly am. I have heard that Ramana Maharshi's teachings can guide me." Swami Krishnananda nodded and sat beside him. "The question, 'Who am I?' arises due to relativity," he began. "We see identical physical systems around us and observe many things that seem separate from us through our senses. This separation creates the feelings of I, you, they, and so on." Ravi listened intently as the Swami continued. "Hypothetically, suppose you alone exist. In such a state, there is nothing to compare to, and you will never experience relative feelings like I. This is a state of absoluteness. In that state, the feeling of I never arises, even though you are aware of yourself." The Swami paused, letting the words sink in. When Ramana Maharshi advised asking, "Who am I?" he did not mean to find an answer, but to discover the source of the question. In this source, the question itself dissolves because it is meaningless. What remains is pure awareness. One does not need to feel I to be aware of oneself. Such feelings belong to relativity, whereas awareness belongs to absoluteness. Ravi felt a wave of clarity wash over him. He realized that his quest was not to find an answer, but to experience this pure awareness. Swami Krishnananda's words resonated deeply within him. He understood that self-realization was about transcending the relative world of feelings and identities to experience the absolute state of pure awareness. Days turned into weeks as Ravi immersed himself in meditation and contemplation at the ashram. He followed the practice of self-inquiry, continuously asking, "Who am I?" Whenever thoughts arose, he traced them back to their source, letting go of the transient and connecting with the eternal. One morning, as the first rays of sunlight touched Aranakula Hill, Ravi experienced a profound shift in consciousness. He felt a deep sense of peace and unity with everything around him. The boundaries of I and you dissolved, leaving only pure awareness. He realized that he was not separate from the world, but a part of the infinite whole. Ravi had finally found what he was seeking. The journey within had led him to the state of self-realization, where awareness was the only reality. He understood that this was the ultimate truth beyond the confines of relativity. As he left the ashram, Ravi bowed to Aranakula Hill, feeling immense gratitude for the guidance he had received. He knew that the journey of self-realization was ongoing, but he was now equipped with the wisdom to navigate it. He carried with him the timeless teachings of Ramana Maharshi and the understanding that in the absolute state of pure awareness, he had found his true self. And so, the story of Ravi's journey became an inspiration for all seekers of self-realization, reminding them that the answer to "Who am I?" lies not in finding an answer, but in experiencing the source of pure awareness. Thank you. Please like, share, and subscribe.